Anyway, hi, I'm Carol Kaczynski. I am the founder and editor-in-chief of Simply Gluten-Free magazine. We do have a booth, so come out and check out our booth. We've got some really awesome giveaways. I'm not sure which category that we're in, but I think it's probably one of them is bloggers and books and influencers.
And there's also health, wellness, and beauty for the makeup.
This is Angela. Yes, and I also have another booth, Beauté Minerals, which is mineral makeup, obviously all gluten-free. So you can check us out there too. We're in which one?
I think it's like health and wellness, personal care, and beauty. Right. It's the first category when you go in.
I'm going to be cooking in real time with some super adaptable recipes that you can swap out. I'm keeping it very simple. Here I have put the basic recipes that you can download if you want to print those off for later on. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make some homemade ricotta cheese. And the reason I'm doing this is because it's so easy and it's so good. And when I make it at home, I can make sure it's organic. That happens to be important to me when it comes to dairy. So here we go. We're going to start.
Hey, Carol, Melissa Wilbanks says she just bought a 2-year subscription.
Oh,
and
nice.
She's excited to get the magazine for the first time.
That's great.
That's great. Well, welcome to the Simply Gluten-Free family.
Yes.
Michelle says she can see a tiny box and a counter of food.
Great.
Okay.
That's what we
So
need.
it's mostly the counter and you are in the corner.
Okay, good. Because we're going to show you what we're doing. So
Okay.
That's purposeful.
I don't know if you can see the pot or not, but into this can, which I have on medium-high heat, I just poured in 4 cups of whole milk. And now I'm pouring in 2 cups of heavy cream. As I said, I like organic when it comes to dairy products, so that's what I'm using. Angela, can you just kind of get rid of that for me? And then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. All right. Let me tell you the 3 things that I'm making here. I'm making my homemade ricotta cheese just because I think it's so cool to be able to tell people you made ricotta cheese. And it's so versatile. You can have honey on there, put it on your toast. You can zhuzh it up with herbs and have it as a savory dip. You can stir it into pasta. You can put it on flatbread. So anyway, unfortunately, I don't have a dairy-free version of this. I'll work on that, actually. Anyway, I'm just going to bring this to a boil. And as we're doing that, I will tell you what else we're going to make. I'm going to make 5-minute flatbreads. Oh, yeah. Well, no, I'm frozen again. Anyway, I'm also going to make a 5-minute flatbread that is so easy and super adaptable. You can make it dairy-free if you want. And then I'm going to make 1-pan pasta. Again, super adaptable. I'm going to do basic versions of this, and you can zhuzh them up any way you want. All right. Oops. So I'm not quite sure.
Trisha wants to know how much whole milk you put in.
I put in 4 cups of whole milk, 2 cups of heavy cream, 1 teaspoon of salt. That's what I've put in so far. Angela, can you grab me a spoon or a spatula? I just want to stir it and make sure my this is almost ready. So I think that we're going to the next thing I'm going to add to this once it comes to a boil is I'm going to add some white vinegar. You can use any kind of white vinegar you want. I like rice vinegar. Again, this is organic. I don't know what I did with my tablespoon. Oh, here's that. And I'm going to add 3 tablespoons to this, and that's going to be the acid that makes it work. You can use also lemon juice. Actually, when I use lemon juice, I'll do like 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and I'll still do a tablespoon of vinegar. It just seems to work a little bit better that way. I always use kosher or sea salt in my cooking. If you use table salt, cut it by half because it's more salty, you could say. All right, I'm just waiting for that to come. I can kind of see questions. Okay, so if you have any questions, we got like a minute to kill before I start the next recipe. Otherwise,
I have a question, Carol.
Sure.
Can you, for the people, because the sound was a little bit off, can you just explain again exactly what is in your pot and
Sure.
what you're doing?
Okay, 4 cups whole milk, 2 cups heavy cream, 1 teaspoon kosher salt. I put it over medium-high heat. I'm just gonna bring it to a boil. It's almost there. And then I'm gonna add some vinegar, 3 tablespoons of vinegar.
And this is
And
making
then
what? What are
We're
we-
making ricotta cheese.
Okay.
Homemade cheese. It's so impressive when you tell people. There's 2 things I like to make. I mean, obviously I make my own bread, but there's 2 things that always impress people when you make homemade cheese and homemade butter, and they're both so easy to do. So here I have a strainer, which I lined with 2 layers of damp cheesecloth and put it over a deep mixing bowl to kind of strain out the liquid or the whey from the curds. So there we go.
Awesome. And then these ingredients, talk to me how like it works to make cheese. Like, are you souring something, or what is it that's?
She's heating it.
Well, I mean, I guess, but I mean, coming from someone who doesn't make cheese and never has, I'm just trying to.
This is like a very basic. It's not like making cheddar cheese.
Yeah.
That I'm not a food chemist, but I'm thinking that the acid stimulates the reaction.
Okay.
But to be honest, I don't know. I'm just making that up.
It works.
I learned this by watching some Italian woman do it once, and I was like, oh, cool. How cool is that you can make homemade cheese? This is like soft cheese, right? Like a very soft. And the firmer, you can determine how firm it gets by how long you let it drain. Okay, it came to a boil. I'm turning off my heat. Whoa. Turned off my heat, but I should have taken it off the heat because you don't want it to boil over. And then I'm adding in my 3 tablespoons. I'm using rice vinegar. You can use any kind of white vinegar. I would not recommend using a red vinegar. It's going to discolor it. You can also do,
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I mean, apple cider vinegar would be fine. You can also do lemon juice, but I would do 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and 1 tablespoon of vinegar. It helps to, and then I'm just going to stir this, and it's going to start to solidify pretty soon. And then I'm going to strain it. Pretty cool, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to put that back there for a second. Okay, I'm just going to let this sit for a couple minutes until it starts to do its thing, and then I'm going to strain it, and then what we're going to do is start our flatbread. So why don't I just start getting some ingredients for our flatbread? This is so flippin' easy.
Do we want to do the pasta before we do the flatbread?
Oh yeah, we do.
Okay.
Because
what are we making? We're making the ricotta cheese. And we're gonna do a pasta, and then we're gonna do a lovely flatbread.
pasta.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
And then we're actually going to use our ricotta cheese on both the flatbreads and our pasta.
Oh, great! Do you need me to take that and continue to?
No, it needs to set. It shouldn't be stirred. Why don't you just take it over there, and then when it after a couple minutes, we'll do the whole straining process. I'm just going to put this here for right now. I'm going to get everything ready. Don't stir.
No,
For for my flatbreads. Okay. In here, I've got what?
Do we want to do
Oh,
pasta
we're doing
first?
pasta. Sorry.
So we need this. I'm dropping the ball as the assistant, so I need to keep her on track. She's got a lot of stuff going on.
Okay, what I love about this is you don't have to boil the pasta first. You just make it all in one pan.
That's
and
nice.
It's super adaptable. I'm making a really basic version. I'm using water. If you wanted to have a tomato sauce, just get some jarred marinara sauce. Use that instead of the water. If you wanted a meat sauce, before you start this whole process, just brown your meat first, then do that. Okay.
Do you need to strain it, like the grease or anything? If it's meat?
Well, I mean, yeah, probably.
Okay.
All right. So I've got 12 ounces of gluten-free pasta. People always ask me what kind I like the best. I like it in combination of corn and rice or quinoa. It just seems to, the corn helps keep it al dente, and the rice or quinoa or both tend to mellow out the flavor so it doesn't taste really corny. All right, so in here, 12 ounces of pasta. What was this?
That's 5 cloves. You need one for something else. Flatbreads,
for-
perhaps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's 5.
All right, I'm going to put in a couple cloves of garlic. I'm also going to put in about 12 ounces or so of cherry or grape tomatoes. I'm going to save a few for our flatbreads.
And they are halved.
Yep, I cut them in half. 4.5 cups of water. If you want to make this with tomato sauce instead, do 4 cups of tomato sauce and 1/2 cup of water. Whoops. Put it in the bowl, not on the counter. Got to add a little salt. About a teaspoon. Pasta loves salt. We're going to add some bay leaves to this, and I'm saving some for later. This came off of my,
This is basil, right?
did I say bay leaves?
Yeah.
I just caught myself. This is basil. Sorry. Oh, yeah.
Fresh from the garden.
I'm putting in about 8 leaves there. I'm just going to leave them whole. And then I'm also, just for the heck of it, going to add a thinly, oops, do I need to move this? A thinly sliced half of red onion. From here, you can do whatever you want. You can add Kalamata olives, you can add capers, you can put in tuna, you can put in artichoke hearts, you can basically zhuzh this up whatever you like, whichever way you like.
It looks beautiful.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. I feel like I kind of want to show them.
Oh,
I don't know if you can maybe see a little bit. You'll definitely see the end result, but it's so colorful and pretty.
all right. Now, what you're going to do, that's basically it. I'm just going to separate these. Angela, if you don't mind taking it over to the actual stove.
Sure.
Turn it on high, bring it to a boil, and then it's going to cook for about 9 or 10 minutes, maybe 12.
Okay.
Easy peasy. All right.
No stirring?
Yeah, stir it once in a while because it's...
Just checking.
All right, let's go back to our ricotta for a minute. Sorry, I'm walking away. All right, it's gotten kind of like, it looks like curdled custard. I don't know if you can see this, but it's curdly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which normally with dairy is a scary thing. But in this case, it's exactly what we want. You better stand back because I'm not that good about doing this.
Hey, not bad.
All right. I'm just gonna pour it in here and let it do its thing. I don't know if I can see this, but
Yeah, I can. So I have a question on the pasta, Carol. So you're using water and you're putting in the tomatoes and everything. So basically you're just wanting to cook the pasta but not have to drain it. Could you use like a gluten-free stock?
Yeah.
For more flavor?
Yeah.
It's an option?
You can do stock, you can do tomato sauce, like I said.
Oh, okay.
You know what would be good? I just kind of have this thought. Would be like a chicken, like a vegetable stock with some pesto in there.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be really nice.
So you can be creative.
So adaptable, and you can just pull anything that's in your pantry and use that. I did say that. I know I said that the topic of the show was pantry cooking, so I kind of got a little bit excited about making a whole meal in less than an hour, all from scratch, like the bread and the cheese. I mean, obviously I didn't make the pasta, but yeah, I got a little excited about that idea. Okay, so we're now just going to let that drain.
Cool.
We can move it off to the side.
Where's the handle? Oh, got it.
And I'm going to wipe down my counter a little bit. Sorry. There we go. I got no comments or anything. I can't see them here, just so you know. You're the moderator, Angelina. Oh, yeah, I can. You're right here.
Do you cook the pasta with the cover on?
It would be great if you, no, just let it boil. Cover off. Raise which camera up? This one?
Like this?
Is that what you want us to do? Yes. Someone asked if the recipes are available. We put them in to download in the place where you logged in for this presentation. So you can download all 3 of these recipes. And also, if you're new to gluten-free, which I know a number of people may be, we've also included a download called Setting Up Your Gluten-Free Kitchen, which is some really helpful tips for making that transition from a gluten household to a gluten-free household. All right, now I'm going to make 5-minute flatbread.
Yes.
We do a Facebook Live every Friday at noon, and this was one of our super popular.
I make this all the time, and it's so easy, and it's really tasty. And you can do so many different toppings.
Oh, totally, and it's so adaptable. What's the matter, Angelina? You gotta worry
No,
about
I'm
your
just
face.
trying to read these.
Oh, the comments? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Can you?
Cannot see your
Cannot
face.
see my face?
Well, we've got 2 cameras, so.
I don't know.
There's also a live.
Oh, we can see it there now. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Have to get a spatula. Love the flatbread. Okay, cool. All right, we're just kind of checking out some. So 3/4 of a cup of gluten-free flour blend in here.
Hi, Jen.
Hi. 5 tablespoons of, and this is super adaptable. You can use yogurt. You can use dairy-free yogurt. I'm using sour cream because I don't have any yogurt, but I have sour cream. What else have you used?
I've used almond yogurt,
Plain, right?
just plain.
Yeah.
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 If you're definitely doing the dairy-free thing, that works perfect.
Jen says, don't worry about your face. They can see you from the bottom down, I think. It's Jen again. Do you have a favorite pasta brand that works best?
Instead of giving out brands, I like to say what I personally like, which is a combination of rice and corn, or rice, corn, and quinoa. I find that it gives the best texture and taste. So because you can't always find a particular brand in every store.
Christina wants to know if you have a favorite gluten-free flour brand.
Well, I only use my own flour blend. It's called Carol's All-Purpose Gluten-Free Flour. When I was working on my first cookbook, which was a desserts cookbook, I went out and I bought every flour available. And because I wanted to be able to just recommend one, So anyway, I wasn't happy and I came up with my own. So there's links in our exhibitor booth if you want to check that out. But maybe someone else can tell me what their favorite flour blend is. Okay.
Well, it's come to a boil. Do I need to turn it down to the simmer, or do you boil it the whole time?
Oh yeah, simmer it, but you want it still to be a little bubbly.
Okay.
And we're basically looking for that water to evaporate.
Okay.
I've got a teaspoon of baking powder in here. And I'm going to do a half a teaspoon of kosher or fine sea salt. And then I'm going to do a tablespoon of olive oil. And then the next part is you don't have to, but I also like to add a tablespoon of honey. I just feel like it gives it more of a, I don't know, homemade kind of taste.
It tastes really good, and I feel like, because I've made this quite a few times, I feel like it helps bind everything really nicely.
And brown.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
Someone says they like King Arthur gluten-free or cup for cup.
All right, there you go. Okay, now.
I personally like Carol's gluten-free flour.
Yeah, but we're not doing the infomercials. I'm just going to mix this around. It looks like it's never going to come together, but trust me, it will. Did you also do this with applesauce?
I haven't tried it with the applesauce yet, but that's going to be my next venture because I feel like it definitely will work.
I feel like it would work too. The other thing, I feel like it would work instead of the yogurt or sour cream is peanut butter. And then you can make peanut butter flatbreads and top it with like grilled bananas or something. Can you get me that skillet over there? And we're going to start heating that up. Usually, I forgot to do this, but usually I put a skillet on the oven when I start making this because I want to get it really hot.
Do you need some olive oil in it?
Nope. Okay. We're going to keep it dry.
Okay.
All right. So this has come together, and now it's time to do the dirty work. Do we have more flour? Ah, here.
Yes. That is your extra rolling flour.
Hello from Indiana, Brittany says.
Hi, Brittany. Thanks for joining us. Okay, I'm just putting a little bit of flour here. I'm going to do the rest of this kind of by hand. I'm just going to knead it. There's no yeast or anything in here, but thanks. I do like to knead in. It's kind of sticky at this point, so I'm just going to kind of knead it until it's not quite so sticky. And you'll know that when it stops sticking to the counter.
And how many flatbreads does this make?
2. Well, I mean, you could make littler ones or you could make one big, huge one, but I just make 2. All right, now it's soft. It's not sticking to my hands.
Anne says she's very excited also about the recipe.
Cool. I'm very excited too. Okay, Angela, but do you mind getting me a rolling pin? It's in that middle drawer right there.
Your muddle.
This is my all-purpose everything. I use it for a rolling pin. I use it to pound out chicken breasts. I use it to muddle for cocktails. You might not even need that actually. But what I am going to need is a spatula. But look in the dishwasher for a really long spatula. This is literally my home and my kitchen, so sometimes things are left in the dishwasher. Sometimes, this is real life. On the top shelf. Look on the top shelf.
Oh, here.
Right in front of me. Okay. Cool. Thanks. It just helps. I might not even need the rolling pin. I'm just flattening it out with my hands.
I feel that's what I do too, actually, to be honest.
I'm just going to see if my skillet is hot enough. I'm going to move outside. Do the same thing with this. All right. So super easy to make dairy free. No problem. I feel like you could also go the opposite way and make it with smashed bananas, and then you could top it with peanut butter. I don't know. We haven't tested out all my theories. In my head, they'll work, but
This is why it's so fun to work with you, because always putting together something delicious.
So, for those of you who don't know me personally, Angela is my daughter-in-law. Angelina works for me.
Is Liz on people?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, don't worry about it.
Okay.
I have my phone on in case anybody from the show. Okay, look. Total fail, fell apart. No worries. We're just going to put it back together.
This is proof we're doing this in real time.
Yeah.
100% doing
True.
it.
This is real kitchen stuff.
And the thing is that sometimes gluten-free stuff does fall apart. Like if you're rolling out pie crust or something, it's not, it cracks or whatever. And people say, what do I do? And I say, you just got to show it who's boss.
Yeah.
That's my thing. So now my skillet is hot. I'm going to.
What if you don't have a skillet? Can you do this in a pan?
Yeah. Okay. Totally. Like a
Non-stick?
Yeah, you could probably even do it in a well-seasoned cast iron skillet.
I've done it in a just a regular pan, and it's totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Angela,
Yes.
why don't you talk to people for a second, and I'm going to wash my hands.
Oh, okay. Hi, people. I gotta tell you, this is one of my favorite recipes that I've learned from Carol. I make it all the time, and I feel like it's great when if you don't have any bread in the house, and obviously you're a gluten-free household. Very, very easy to whip up. I've actually made this recipe and turned it into breadsticks. So I've made it, and I added some herbs and other things, and when it was done, I just like pizza rolled it into like little, stick, I guess, and served it with like a pasta or even just like as a snack with like marinara sauce, and it's, been a big hit. So this is one of my all-time favorites.
Looks like some people are agreeing with Carol that pie crust is hard, and someone says they have to piece it together sometimes.
Yeah. So there's no shame in doing that. I get it a little wet, piece it together. You just have to show it who's boss.
Yeah, I came across that just recently because I made a quiche.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it wasn't super perfect or pretty, but it was definitely gluten-free, and I got it in the pan. Everyone loved it, so.
Can you read that bottom comment, Angela, because I cannot see it?
Can you repeat the ingredients, please?
For the flatbread?
I'm assuming so.
Okay, it was 3/4 of a cup of gluten-free flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of kosher salt, 5 tablespoons of either yogurt, sour cream, dairy-free yogurt, a tablespoon of honey, and a tablespoon of olive oil. Also, you can download the recipe. We put a link to that. Okay, so you really just only have to cook this for a couple minutes per side. It gets nice and brown.
Isn't it listed on your website as 5-minute flatbread?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It sure is. Multiple ways to do that. Or you can email us at carol.k@simplygluten-free.com. Oh, look, Angelina made us. But isn't it going to be backwards?
They can figure it out. You guys are really smart. I know it.
We are. They are. All right. I think I'm going to keep this going.
Okay.
And I'm going to check our pasta.
I also think that we have an email listed on our booth too. So if anyone has any.
And I mean, worst comes to worst, we're on Instagram. So just send a message and we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Or Facebook. Or
We're
tweet us.
pretty easy, and we respond to everything.
Sure.
We're okay.
We're real.
So good. Sorry,
I know.
I got distracted by my own flatbread.
It does smell so good.
I'm bringing in the pasta here.
Dawn I think this is Dawn says, would it be easier if you made 4 pieces instead of 2? To keep it together.
Yeah, it will, and I have done that in the past. I just like the way it looks.
Yeah. It's everyone's preference.
All right, so now the pasta. I don't know if you all can see the pasta.
Yeah, they can.
Almost
Smells
all the liquid is gone. I'm going to test to make sure that the pasta is cooked well. Sorry.
It's good.
I'm having a moment here. Now, at this point, you can also zhuzh it up anyway. You know what I feel like it needs? Some red pepper flakes. Huh?
I said prosciutto.
Definitely, in my case, I'm going to add, I don't know, just a handful of fresh Parmesan. And just, I don't know, a quarter teaspoon of red pepper flakes. And I'm definitely going to add some more basil. But look at that. It just creates its own sauce. How genius is that?
Because of the starch?
Mm-hmm. And you can use any kind of pasta you want. You can use spaghetti, linguine, you know, any shape. I like the penne because it doesn't break apart as quickly as the spaghetti. Plus, I don't have a pan that will hold the spaghetti in, you know, I have to break it in half. And there are Italian people that will, oh, I forgot about my flatbread. Where's my spatula?
Right there. Oh, wait.
We'll just use a knife.
Where did you
I also need something to
you put it in here.
Okay, sorry. And when our ricotta cheese is done, it definitely needs pepper. We're gonna add some to here as well. Definitely love a little bit of pepper. And when I finish this up, you want to take that back to just take it. Don't put it on the heat. We're just going to keep it on the stove to keep it warm. All right. There we go. Cooking my last flatbread. Would it be? Oh yeah. Okay, we answered that. Hey, I'm sorry, I forgot about this time difference. Oh. Okay, no worries. Well, hi, welcome. No problem. We're definitely not super official over there. Do you want to bring me my ricotta cheese?
Yes, I do.
We also definitely made the actual bread portion of this on Facebook Live. So at the very least, it's on our Facebook under videos, but it may also be on our YouTube.
Oh, okay.
If you missed it, you can go find that there.
All right. So I don't know. I'm going to try to show you this without spilling it. Cool. I'm reading a comment. I don't know if you guys can see the comments, but it says that looks so good. Have to give it a try. Does the pasta
need anchovy paste?
No. You can, the recipe I linked was kind of a specific recipe with the anchovy paste. I didn't put any in this. All I did was pasta, water, cherry tomatoes, salt, some bay leaves,
basil and red onion.
Basil and red onion. And then I'm zhuzhing it up a little as we go. All right. These flatbreads, by the way, great for breakfast with some yogurt or your fresh ricotta cheese and a little drizzle of honey.
I bet you could even bake an egg on it.
Ooh, yeah.
Get creative.
All right. So now when I put my cheesecloth on here, purposely did it with some overhang, and I'm going to show you why. Because we're going to like squeeze it. I'm going to give it a little bit of a. Now, this is still pretty hot. I have pretty asbestos hands, so that's why I'm doing this. So just a little squeeze. And I picked on purpose a deep bowl because I don't want it like sitting in the liquid that we just drained it from. If you don't have one deep enough, no worries. Just empty the water out. How long do you figure this has been sitting for?
15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so good. Yeah, I need a bowl. Do we have a
Clear bowl?
Or a prettier one. If not, no worries.
Keep teasing. I'll be right with you.
I'm not seeing anything here.
I got it covered.
The I don't know if the water's too loud, but the lady who I saw demonstrate it actually took a rolling pin, tied this around the rolling pin, and let it just hang over her sink, which is, I guess, if you don't have a strainer. But I kind of feel like most people have a strainer or a colander. All right,
Maybe it's like an ancient recipe from when they would like hang it outside or something.
maybe.
Who
I
knows?
feel like I should have been born Italian.
It's pretty great.
All right, I'm gonna switch. No, you go down there. Yeah, thanks. I'm just gonna toss out my ricotta into here.
Oh,
Now this is really soft. As I said, if you let it sit longer, it will get definitely firmer. I like it soft, but if I were gonna use this, like for example, making lasagna, I would definitely let it set longer. Now, let's have our pasta back because I feel like the addition of this. Now, I put in the recipe, I put in a, I keep forgetting my flatbreads. Thank goodness they're not burning. I put in a recipe for an herbed ricotta. So you do everything up to this point, and then you just add herbs and chopped green onions to it, and it makes a really lovely dip. You can serve it with toasted baguette or, whatever, crackers. I'm gonna chop up a few extra fresh basil leaves. I always like to add fresh at the very end.
if you don't like anchovy or olive, what might you suggest instead? Ask Susan.
You can do don't just leave out the anchovy. Leave out the olives. That's what I did this time. Artichoke hearts are lovely in this. You can even add some lemon zest and some lemon juice.
That smells really good.
At the end, you could throw in some frozen or fresh peas and make a really light, a lighter version. So this is some thyme. I just had some growing in my garden. So I'm adding that. But the exciting part, I'm going to stir in a little of my fresh ricotta cheese here. And I'm going to give this whole thing a taste and see. And then I don't know, for anybody who turned in later on the pasta, if you want to make this with a tomato, a heavier tomato-based soup, instead of doing 4.5 cups of water, use 4 cups of just your favorite jarred marinara sauce and 1/2 cup of water, and it'll turn into a lovely, more traditional kind of pasta, I guess. And if you want to add meat to it, just brown the meat or sausage before, drain off the fat, and do the same method. So it's really adaptable to whatever you got and whatever your tastes are. Oh, let me stir in my fresh basil. I'm so excited to take it.
It's so pretty and it smells incredible.
And it's so creamy and so good.
If you keep it out longer, I think that says, should you refrigerate it? I think he's referring to the cheese.
Oh yeah, you can do it. Like I've done this before. I wouldn't keep it out more than 1/2 hour on the counter, but I'm really weird about dairy. I mean, you are souring it, but I've done it overnight in the refrigerator when I want it really firm.
And
so no worries.
Christine wants to know if there are leftovers, will the pasta dish hold up the next day?
Mm-hmm.
And someone else wanted to know if there was xanthan gum in the flour blend.
Yeah, there is. That is. Okay, I think this is really good. I'm sorry for you people who don't like pepper, but I like a lot of pepper with my pasta. I think this is just so good. All right.
I can't wait to try it.
Should I,
Do you want me to plate this and then you can do your flatbread?
yeah, just move this out of this here. All right. I was going to make, you know what I need is a nice wooden cutting board. Can you hand me that bigger one?
Guys,
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
All right.
There you go.
So I've got my flatbreads here. From this basic recipe, you can zhuzh them up any which way you want. One, I'm going to spread the ricotta on the bottom. Yeah, you might want to add a little more Parmesan on top too, just to make it look pretty, and a little sprig of basil. I don't know.
Mm.
So this one, I'm putting my my fresh ricotta on the bottom. This one, because I happen to have a jar of pesto in my refrigerator, I'm just going to spread some pesto on there first.
Oh, that looks so good.
Isn't that good? You know, you can even use this as a substitute for, like, you know, if you want. I mean, it's not going to be exactly like pita bread, but it tastes really good with hummus, just so you know. And then on this one, I'm just going to kind of drizzle my ricotta on there. I am going to do a little.
Michelle wants to know what we're making.
Right now, we're making flatbreads. We have made homemade fresh ricotta cheese. We've made 5-minute flatbreads, and we've made 1 pot of pasta. And this will kind of all come together as one lovely meal that you whipped up in real time, having to, in less than 45 minutes, having to deal with technical issues. So,
basically Superman.
and, you know, it's only noon here, or it's only 2 here in Florida. I would have found this to be a very relaxing experience with like a glass of wine if I was cooking dinner.
Agreed.
It would just make me feel like an Italian housewife or something.
Date night goals.
Which is basically my goal in life. Here, okay, so I'm just gonna toss this with my ricotta one. You can do whatever you want. I just thought this might be good. A little green onion, some fresh basil, maybe some chives,
Some tomato.
Oh yeah, you can put some tomatoes. All right, little fresh herbs. I think both of them could use a little tomatoes. And then my favorite pantry ingredient makes anything taste good.
Oh, yes.
Balsamic glaze. It's like the best thing.
I made this exact thing kind of going off of your recipe, and I put a little bit of prosciutto, and if you do like ricotta cheese or did like more of a cheese base, it's really nice with
Like
a
mozzarella?
Yeah, with honey and you know, just like those little yummy kind of appetizer kind of tastes.
I serve these on a cutting board and just cut them in with a pizza cutter. You can use a knife, but it's so easy just to use a pizza cutter. And there you go. I'm going to taste it because, you know, I don't want to recommend something to you that's not good. So good.
I'm starving.
Help yourself.
I'm going to.
Hi, Robert. He says it looks amazing. Thank you so much. I hate to brag, but it's really pretty good. Okay. So we made homemade ricotta. We made homemade bread. And we made probably the easiest and most adaptable pasta ever. Right?
I agree.
All within an hour.
I've been the only one doing the tasting. Angelina, come and taste
Okay.
everything and tell us what you think.
All right. Let's see.
Which flatbread would you prefer to try?
Oh, probably the pesto.
Okay, there you can have this.
Okay. Perfect. Let's see. Drum roll, please.
All right, and feel free to tell the truth. I'm not offended.
I'm writing a Yelp review. I'm just kidding. It's really good.
Well, don't they ever write good Yelp reviews?
I do.
Okay.
We need more positivity in the world.
I
We
agree.
sure do.
Here's your flatbread. All you really need to do is add a salad, and you're good to go.
This is amazing.
Angela?
Oh, I'll wait.
I knew she was going to say that. She doesn't like to eat on camera. I, on the other hand, have no problem eating on camera. Mm.
I hope people make this.
No, I don't talk.
Do they need to know anything else?
I don't know. Go by and visit our booth. We have we have some amazing giveaways. So it's Simply Gluten-Free Magazine. I also have another booth, Butane Minerals, mineral makeup, all gluten-free, obviously, all amazing. And they're having a giveaway as well.
We are.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And I think I arranged for people to schedule chats with me. So if you just want to chat, I'd love to talk to you. All right. So thank you all for tuning in. We're going to have lunch. Have a great rest of the show.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.